this podcast is for general informational purposes and entertainment only and should not be considered medical advice. Dr. Ashley is not responsible or liable for any advice, course of treatment, or other information you obtain through this podcast, and neither am I. So if you have any real problems, go see a doctor in person.
This is The Full Release with Mo Mandel.
And Dr. Ashley.
What's up, y'all?
What's up?
Is everybody still alive out there?
Whoa.
Been intense.
It's been intense.
It's been real fucking 2020.
Yeah, it sucks. 2020 sucks.
I had a tweet that I thought was pretty clever about it. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
If you don't want to hear it,
I want to hear it. Tell it.
If you don't, if you're not,
tell it to me.
It seems like you don't care.
Okay, tell it to me.
Okay, fine. So, in light of how much fucking horrible shit has happened this year, I tweeted on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's an app.
All right, get on with it.
And you can, I think it's free. And basically, I tweeted, we all thought 666 was the mark of the devil. Turns out it's 2020.
That's really good.
It didn't do well.
Okay.
But I thought it was clever.
So I had a tweet actually that blew up for reals. Well,
It's
actually,
not a
not really blew up
competition.
because it's not like I am one of these millions of followers people, but like for me, it was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
Yeah, and
I
it
heard a lot
happened.
about it. I've been seeing Ashley
Glued to my phone,
glued to her phone, looking ignoring me more than usual.
Because the love and respect of strangers on the internet, who I will probably never meet in person, means more to me than you.
Right, and with
in real time.
the whole world marching for racial justice and police reform, your focus has been pretty much on how many retweets and likes.
I got a response to this.
Right.
Well, first off, as a caveat, let's just take a detour here.
Okay, let's detour.
And first off, also let's say that's Mo's phone making all the noise in the background. Thank you. All right. So as a detour,
yeah,
all the marching for racial justice is really freaking important.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
100%.
I 100% support it.
We do.
As long as people are wearing masks and remaining socially distant, please.
Well, can we just
please
take
do
that?
that
Has been an interesting thing. How we went from 3 months of don't go outside, and if you're even talking to someone within 4 feet, you're a bad person, to let's get 5,000 people jammed together on this one block. Now, 100% needs to happen. Reform, change needs to happen.
Right.
But it is interesting. I mean, if a lot of these people don't get sick who are out there, I'm going to feel like I've been lied to about this corona thing. I don't want them to get sick, but if they don't, there's going to be a part of me that's like, well, wait a minute, I could have been fucking leaving the house?
No, I mean, a few things, right? So one, all of these gatherings by and large are outside, right? So most of the things that you were preventing yourself from doing were like, let's say, going to a restaurant or going, whatever, to a bar,
That's not
going to a
true.
concert, going to a comedy club.
I wanted
you weren't
to get
like
together.
planning on doing things like outside in the middle of the street.
Yes, I was.
That
That's
said-
how shows you don't know, but I wanted to get together with 4,000 of my friends to do a flash dance. We were going to do a flash mob.
Right.
And we couldn't do it because of Corona.
Right.
You know, flash mob is very important to me and my community.
No, I mean, the point being, I think that, in the moment, in the justifiable rage, people are taking to the streets and that needs to be done. And we just need to remember to keep the coronavirus at the forefront of our mind with all of this, because the young people who are going to and the people of all ages who are going to create a more racially just world are the ones we need them to stay healthy.
Right, exactly.
So stay healthy, people, and wear masks and use hand sanitizer.
Yeah, can we just say...
And stay far apart from each other, and especially if you're like shouting, then stay more far apart from each other.
Man,
just
young
really
people
spread out. Just
young
really
people
spread out.
have been looking awesome. They've been making change, fighting for racial justice, and old people lately just pretty much getting sick and dying. Advantage to the young on this one.
All right.
What do you say to that?
No, I don't. I mean, like, babe, that's not really a thing. Like, it's not. People are not deciding to
I'm just saying,
die of coronavirus.
you're seeing a lot of young people out there fighting for justice, and I'm seeing a lot of older people kind of dying.
All
so
right.
I'm
You know
just
what?
saying,
This is not.
you don't. Well, that's
no.
just okay. So you sort of feel like it's hard to take a stand on this one.
The other thing is, like, think about it this way. Maybe there would be a broader swath. I mean, there have been representations of all age groups in these protests, but probably older people, rightfully so, are more scared to go outside.
Well, that's
so it may be like, the generation of our parents who, a lot of them sold out and, forgot about their hippie ways. But, the ones like, your parents who are still very much, focused on social justice all the time still, which I would say they are. I mean, they're like, I know you're trying to keep your mom from
they're
like,
old school SJ Dubs.
Yeah. What's that?
Social justice warriors.
Right. But they're not, I don't want them to go out there because they're like in their 70s.
Right. No, as a matter of fact, I was talking to my parents and they were driving back over the Golden Gate Bridge. They finally got to see their grandson after, I think, 4 months. And on the way back, they got stuck on the bridge because there were protests. And instead of being like, it was so fucking annoying, we couldn't get it. My mom was like, we felt really weird because we felt like we should have been out there.
Yeah.
And we wanted to get out there. We were scared of Corona. I was like, Mom, you're 74. Dad's, I think, 76. Stay the fuck in the car.
Right.
And a little note, saying a lot of these people in the 60s and 70s sold out. At least they were part of it for a while. I mean, I'll just speak honestly. I'm just kind of scared to go out there to the protests and stuff. I haven't gone out there. We hear,
right,
helicopters.
But are you scared because you're scared to be part of the movement, or are you scared because of the pandemic?
No, I'm scared of the pandemic.
Right. So, I mean.
But also, there's certain days where I would have been scared to be out there when it looked like kind of chaotic downtown,
Yeah, for sure.
And that is sort of, the kind of justice warrior that I am. I'm sort of like, I might make a donation. You know what I mean? I'm sort of like the guy who goes for the donation sometimes. And I know that's weak and lame, but.
I mean, you donate more to charity than I do, so.
I give a lot of money to charity. I have a lot worse karma than you that I have to make up for.
I will say, in small ways at work, I've been making sure to, like, we had a work meeting and we were talking about hiring another urologist and, making a point of saying, hey, like, when we interview for this job, we need to make sure to, think about, diversity and the groups that are not represented in our current, staff. And that's like, yeah, I guess I'm giving myself a pat on the back. And I know that like the whole point is to not give yourself a pat on the back and to understand.
No, but I think if that's, you're actually, trying to get them to, think about some things, I think that's okay to pat yourself on the back for. I'll allow it.
Well, I think the main point being that, the thing that all of us really have to take away from this is not just to like retweet about racism and, like posts on the internet about anti-racism, but it's really to say like in my own life on a day-to-day basis, what am I going to do to advocate for this?
No,
right?
absolutely. You have to be proactive. There was a video. What was that video going around where the actors were encouraging people to be? There was like all these famous white actors, or they were kind of famous, were like doing this video where they were like,
they were pretty famous.
You need to make it, and it's true. You do need to be active. The video was ridiculous. Can we admit that? It was like very overdone, and Aaron Paul was like, guys, you need to do so. You want to be like, Aaron, just throw it away. Just have fun with it.
Well, yeah, that was really,
Well, I don't know. Celebrities need to just relax in terms of, I mean, they're trying their best. I mean, their heart's in the right place, but in this with the, the Imagine All the People thing that they did, it's just like, I just think, and why can't celebrities ever, when they're trying to be like emphatic or make a statement, why can't they just like talk like normal people?
Right.
That would be better than having to be like, I was once an actor and now I'm speaking of racial justice.
Right.
I mean,
and it's a tough position because it's like, on the one hand, if people didn't speak out, they'd probably get shit for saying, why aren't you speaking out for this? But then on the other hand, when they speak out, you're like, I don't want to hear from you right now.
Yeah, you're like, didn't you put like a fucking superhero?
Like, I legitimately don't. Yeah, I don't care what this person has to say. They're not in politics. They are not known to advocate for this. They don't, whatever.
And you're fucking like too rich for me to really care what your opinion is about anything. You know what I mean? Like, there's a certain point where someone has so much money, I'm just like, but this doesn't really affect you that much.
Yeah. Anyway, should we? Oh, and also Happy Pride Month, right? It's
June. Yeah, Happy Pride Month. How do gay people feel about the focus of the political movement not being on gay rights during Pride Month?
I think there's a lot of cohesivity.
I think there is.
And, so I am listen to Dan Savage's podcast, and I've been on it a few times, and, he was saying that, Pride Month began with a riot, right? It began with the Stonewall riots in New York City, when, essentially I believe that there was police brutality against gay people.
Where the Stonewall Club got its name?
Stonewall Inn?
Yeah. Do you know what it's named after?
No.
Stonewall Jackson, who was was actually a drag queen, and he would actually perform in drag for the troops during the Civil War.
Really? What?
That's not true.
I was believing you until you said the Civil War, and it's like.
But couldn't you see that back in the day? Like, I feel like men would dress up like in female clothes all the time, just for like
in Shakespeare. Time
yeah, it was like
whatever,
Shakespeare, and it was like pretty regular.
Yeah, well, I mean, I told you that I was reading about, for some reason, I was reading about Louis XIV. Who was the most grandiose king during when people thought kings were gods. What was that called?
North Korea now?
No, whatever. Anyway, and that was back what was it, in like the 1400s or so? And
yeah, I remember you telling me.
His brother was like open cross-dresser, right?
Yeah.
And so he would go around, like the brother of Louis XIV would go around the French court dressed in these like extravagant, beautiful women's clothes.
Gowns,
many
chiffon gowns, probably.
Yes, chiffon gowns, yeah.
Right.
And he of course was obligated to marry women for the purpose of procreation, but he openly had like male lovers, and I think it was in part his privilege, right, that he like got away with this stuff.
Right. He had what was known back then as prince privilege.
Right, prince privilege. But obviously, these are strong and inherent undercurrents in human nature.
Of course,
it's not, And
I was just bringing it up because, and I know the Pride movement has been 100% like, they've made it cohesive with the movement going on now. But I was, it is got to be a little moment where people are like, because I would imagine if you're gay, Pride is a fucking great time.
Oh, it's amazing.
I'm sure it's just like, aside from the political stuff, which I feel like it has less and less to do with these days, and it's probably just like a big ass fucking party.
Well, yeah.
That it must be a little bit like, kind of wanted to just get laid a lot and, go down to a giant Pride parade party.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there.
It is kind of interesting. I was listening to, the local news here in Portland, Oregon, and they were saying that for Pride this year, since they're not having a parade, they're going to like televise, I think, the entirety of the Pride parade from 1999, which I kind of thought was kind of cool.
But no, I don't think.
I don't know. I would tune into that. Like, I would want
99.
to see.
Yeah, I wonder what Pride was like.
I don't know.
I will say that it was in 99. I was 18, and I was way too young and homophobic to watch any kind of a Pride thing. So I'm sure it would be like the first time I definitely didn't see the Pride March in 99. I graduated high school in 99. I wasn't really able to, you know what I mean? It was still, I was like 2 years off being a wrestler.
Yeah.
And on the baseball team, like I was sort of working through that. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
Boy,
but weren't you like very close with your uncle who was gay? And,
yeah, but
like,
still,
it was like
it's not like I had any active homophobic. I wasn't actively homophobic, or there was no homophobic thoughts.
You were just,
but it was just like it was like sexually probably insecure. You know what I mean? You're 18. Yeah, I don't think I've had sex with anyone yet, so it was definitely like a,
I didn't either. I had not had sex with anyone when I was 18.
That's just takes a second. Although I will say, the big moment for the Pride community today, and I'm bringing my phone up here so I can share this with you, babe.
Oh, that's a nice email you wrote to yourself, 709.
Yeah, it's something you said on the podcast at minute 709 where I was like, do we have to edit that out or something? I don't know. Well, we'll talk about it afterwards. Oh. But here is something that was big today. SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, yeah, this is good.
Came out of the closet. Well, he didn't come out of the closet because he's a cartoon. But Nickelodeon tweeted celebrating Pride Month with the LGBTQ community and their allies this month and every month. And they tweeted out a photo of a character named Korra from The Legend of Korra, who apparently is bisexual, and the transgender actor Michael D. Cohen from Henry Danger. And this is where it gets fascinating, SpongeBob as well with a rainbow tie. Now, they're claiming, they're not answering whether or not this means he's gay. They've disabled comments in the past when SpongeBob has been, this has been brought up. the creator of SpongeBob, before he died, said no, he's asexual. But I did a little research here, and by
Well,
that
you
I
could
meant
be asexual and gay, could you not?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Can you?
because this is a whole thing. So you can be
No, you can
gay.
you can be gay and abstinent. I don't think you can be asexual and gay. It makes no sense.
Because you can have romantic tendencies but not desire to be sexual.
Oh,
So if you
interesting,
feel
yeah.
like I mean, if you feel romantically, towards men but you don't want to have sex with them, then you would be, I would be a straight asexual
Right.
person. And similarly, if my romantic tendencies were towards women, then I would be, a gay.
we could, from what you said there, I could have extrapolated
Okay.
the other example.
Fine.
We haven't gotten a lot of asexual questions on this podcast.
No.
Anyway, let me get into it though. So these are the I
Right,
looked
get
on the
back to it,
internet.
yeah.
Back to SpongeBob. Let's talk about the serious stuff here.
Right here.
So these are some of the more.
As an aside, just to interrupt you, we will get to questions and talk about genital things because I know people want to.
We got some
they're turned in-
big genital questions coming at you.
Tune in for that. So yeah. All right. Anyway.
Are you trying to tell me you don't? Okay, are you telling me you don't think people tune in to hear about SpongeBob's sexual identity on this podcast?
Well, your hair looks like SpongeBob's sexual
how dare
identity,
you.
so
My hair looks like his sexual identity?
I mean, your general head shape right now looks like SpongeBob.
Okay, I understand how it looks like it, but
And
how does
then
it
you've
look
got
like?
I don't know, you're just you're vibing on, I just feel like you could be showing his sexual energy. there.
Okay, I'm happy to show SpongeBob's sexual energy. It's Pride Month. I mean, I think if my
Yeah.
hair wants to take on that,
It is.
then let's do it. Okay,
Yeah.
here it is. So he flamboyantly, I haven't watched a lot of SpongeBob because I was a little too old.
Yeah, I don't watch it either.
So one thing is he's flamboyant, and he holds hands with his buddy the starfish while watching a show called Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, which sounds like the gayest name of a television show ever, and a great show. And also, they once adopted and raised a kid together in an episode. So,
yeah, there you go.
I feel like that answers it, right?
So he may be a gay asexual man or sponge.
No, yeah, he's definitely not a man. There's no question about that.
He's
He
a
is
gay
a sponge.
asexual sponge.
Yeah. Or I don't even think he's asexual.
know
I
what?
feel like sponges are by nature very sexual. There's a lot of fluid, there's a lot of movement, a lot of squishiness. It's very
Right.
sexual, So that was my research on the show.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I think that's good. Kids having modeling for various different types of households. Ones
Of course it's
where
good.
you have two
Yeah.
sponge dads.
So, I
and
mean, kids need to know that if you're gay, you're straight, you can be a sponge.
right.
You know what I mean? That's what people need to
Right.
know. If you are a sponge, then regardless of what your sexual orientation is, you should be allowed to do that. In
Yeah.
the America that I want.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, should I do the Karen thing?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so, all these motherfucking racists out there in the world.
Or should we do a urology thing first?
No, well, I'm in it. It's going to be very quick.
Just do more stuff.
I mean, do you want to do a urology question?
That's okay. We can.
No, let's do one. Let's do a urology. We'll come back to the Karen thing. I did a little research on the name Karen, which, of course, is the popular racist white woman meme thing going around. But
All right, I'm pulling this up.
Okay.
So I actually just asked the Twitter universe
The
for
Twitterverse.
questions. Yeah. And somebody actually just got back to us, so I just thought I would do that one to be responsive.
Can we give a round of applause for Ashley being such a Twitter rock star that 2 minutes ago?
we didn't even talk about the tweet that I tweeted.
Yeah, go into the tweet first.
Oh yeah, so the
'Cause I was going to say 2 minutes ago she tweeted out to the Twitter thing.
oh yeah,
Do you guys have any questions? Boom, 15 questions came in.
Yeah.
What, two? 2 questions?
one,
question came in.
but that's okay.
But it sounded good.
They went to our email though right away.
But
That's
tell
good.
them your tweet that got like 6
Oh.
million views or whatever.
It got 6 million views, but it definitely got like 1,500 likes, and
Unbelievable.
I think 1,000 people started following me because of it, which
And
that's a good ratio
Very
of
good.
likes to follows.
now, on the count of, I'm going to count to 3 and give a drum roll, and then she's going to say this emphatic tweet that got so many retweets and likes and views and YouTube grams. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
the scrotum is very forgiving.
Say it again.
The scrotum is very forgiving.
The scrotum is very forgiving. That was her tweet, and it blew up. why don't you walk us through your artistic process when you came up with that, babe?
It was not an artistic process at all. It was more like a brain fart. So I was working that day, and I was talking to a patient about a specific surgery called a hydrocelectomy, which is where you, can get basically a sack of fluid around your testicle.
A sack around the old sack.
Yeah. Well, not around your sack, inside of your sack.
Inside, yes.
A sack in the sack.
So it's sort of like one of those old
Around your
Russian
nut.
dolls where you sort of remove the sack and then there's another sack.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's like your nut is inside of a water balloon. Like, that's how it feels.
Oy.
Yeah. So anyway, sometimes they're small and it's not a big deal. And sometimes they get like a lot bigger and it's annoying, right? Because it's like imagine walking around with like a half full water balloon in your pants, right?
I mean, it doesn't sound
it's not
fun.
pleasant.
No, it doesn't
So it makes
sound
your
fun.
pants, you have a difficult pants situation.
Yeah.
It's like
as a man,
lots of adjusting.
as a man, water balloons are never something I think of fun. As a kid, I might have enjoyed it.
Right. Yeah.
As
that's
a
true.
little boy, water balloons are just a good time.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So anyway, I was talking to this guy, and I, was talking to him about the surgery to remove the hydrocele, and basically how, if you make an incision on somebody's scrotum, it heals up really well because you have all these, natural wrinkles on your scrotum, right? They're called rugae. As you know, I'm sure from the many hours a day you spend staring at your scrotum.
Well, the other day, remember I
And-
did see my scrotum. I had like a rash in the inside of I had like a sweat rash and had you look
Oh,
at it. And then
yeah.
I saw it in the mirror and I was just so disgusted.
Yeah, I was too.
No, you said you weren't. You said it was kind of hot. You kind of liked the look of my.
Did I say your sweat rash was hot?
I don't
That's what
know.
I
You
said.
you didn't seem that grossed out by it.
I mean,
thought
I'm
you
not
said it
really
was the
grossed out by
most-
anything except for like, I don't know.
I thought you said it was the most aroused you've ever felt in your life.
I
Seeing my
did
sweat
definitely
rash
say
by my
that.
testicles. Okay, well then I misheard you. Agree to disagree.
All right. Anyway, so I was and then I said to him, but once you're all healed up, you won't notice any scar because the scrotum is very forgiving. And I realize that I say this whenever I talk about doing surgery on scrotums. I say this line like this is just a normal thing to say, like the way you would say the sky is blue and roses are red. I say the scrotum is forgiving, and I was just like, when on Twitter, I was just like, I just have to put that out there. Like, it's just a dumb thing. Like, is this a sentence in my brain that it just seems like second nature to me? And like, what do other people think of that sentence?
Right. It's sort of like a
'Cause it's
Rorschach
ridiculous,
test.
right?
Like, what does that mean to you? The scrotum is very
Right.
forgiving.
Right.
Which is an interesting thing to say because the balls are not forgiving.
They're not forgiving.
You know, even one little flickety flick right there, and
Right.
your fucking nuts are really in bad shape. But the scrotum, I guess, because it is so. So what do you mean? Because it's wrinkly. So if you scar it, you can just wrinkle it back together.
Well, you have to scar it the right way, right? So you have to scar it along the natural lines.
That's funny.
I'm serious. When you
Like
make
giving a haircut, you have to go around along with the grain.
yeah, you go with the grain. Yes, essentially. When you make a cut on a scrotum, you go along the scrotum grain. I mean, it's very, so you have like those two, you have the median raphe, so that's a line
Yeah.
that goes down the middle. If you've, spent time looking at your scrotum, or
Mm.
non-scrotum possessing people who are listening to this, if you want to, if you want to look at your partner's scrotum, or if you've never seen a scrotum in real life because you don't have a scrotum carrying partner, then you can look on the internet at photos of scrotums. They're very exciting.
Yeah, just Google scrotum and go down a rabbit hole and just let that be your Friday night. What else you
Yeah.
got to do now? It's Corona time.
Right.
Now, babe, you came out swinging hard and you got the scrotum is very forgiving. Now, what can we, fans of your work, expect in upcoming tweets?
I have no idea.
Are there
it's just a
other body
brilliance-
parts you're going to go into?
It's just a brilliance that comes to me, babe.
Have you thought about doing a TED Talk about scrotum forgiveness?
Somebody did say, they're like, I think you need to put that on a t-shirt. And
The scrotum is very forgiving.
I'm like, yeah, but where, like, t-shirts always seem awesome to have some witticism on a t-shirt, but then like if you go out of the house, you're just gonna want to
Who
turn
gives a
around and go
fuck?
back in the
As
house.
a comedian, I've sold so many dumbass shirts after my shows. I don't care if everyone ever wears them. You get that $15 though, don't you?
So maybe I should get that shirt.
Yeah, get that fucking shirt.
I'm
We're
gonna
about to be
make that
married.
shirt.
Yeah, and we'll sell it, and I'll get
Sell
some of
it
that money.
at urology conferences and elsewhere, and
oh,
just see.
fuck yes. I don't know how. Are you allowed to do that at Urology? Can
Yeah,
you
you
set
have
up a
to-
merch table?
Yeah, you can. You just have to buy a vendor table.
Jesus, we should do that.
Should we just make all sorts of crazy urology related
Yes.
shirts and just set it up
Yeah.
That's actually an amazing idea.
Well, you yourself have like 19 different urology shirts, and
I
I'm
do.
guessing all urologists are like so
we
into
love having T-shirts about our
urologists.
field. Yeah.
All right, two things we're going to get into before we end this podcast today, and we're not going to do it right now, but in a second. One, we're going to really get into what's up with Harvey Weinstein's dick and balls.
Should we just do that now?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
But another thing we're going to do is we are going to we are doing our cake test for our wedding.
Oh yeah.
We've got cakes, and we're going to do a taste live, but not live, but we're going to record it, and it's going to be at the end of the podcast. So if you want to hear us in audio form and on YouTube eating cake, oh boy, this is the one for you.
You know, you always think that watching other people and listening to other people eat things is going to be unsatisfying because you can't eat it yourself. But
Right.
for some reason, it's satisfying.
Right. So
I
if
have
you
no
want to
idea why,
hear us
right?
eating cake, just stick around. Also, just so that everybody knows, this podcast is on YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
It's on YouTube. Yeah.
wanna see
I know we
us?
don't do it very often.
You were wondering what the haircut that looks like SpongeBob's sexual identity
Or
looks
if you
like,
want to see what my
can
sweat
go-
rash looks like,
He's not posting that.
I might post my sweat rash
He's not.
and it'll be in YouTube so you can watch it there. All right, let's get into Harvey Weinstein. So I really want to dig into this.
Yeah, let's
deep.
dig into this deep. This is good.
Do you want to know what's up with Harvey Weinstein's dick? Of course you do, America. And now you're going to get to find out an actual urologist is going to break it down, okay? So let me tee it up for you, babe. Dr. Ashley Winter, urologist, dick expert, is going to break it down. So according to the Daily Mail, and that is an online magazine or newspaper, periodical. We'll just go periodical.
Periodical.
Yeah, periodical's good.
I
So
would say,
according to the dailymail.com news section, they have various sections. This is in the news section.
Okay.
The truth behind Harvey Weinstein's horrible and shocking deformity is laid bare in a new 3-part docuseries coming out. There's a new docuseries coming out. It's on Graydon Carter's Digital News Weekly Airmail or something. I don't know. Anyway, God, there's so many damn things on the internet. So he's got a thing, and it's a 3-part thing, and yada, yada. Anyway, the long story short is, apparently Harvey Weinstein, this is proven now. I believe it's proven. I don't want his dick and balls to sue me if it's not proven, but it seems like it's proven, according to this dailymail.com periodical. Apparently, Harvey Weinstein suffers from, and has since 1999, a condition known as Fournier's gangrene.
Fournier's.
Fournier's gangrene.
Work on your French, babe.
Fournier. Yeah, because remember there was this woman, Jessica Mann, and she testified against Harvey Weinstein, and she was saying that, you know, one of the things she noticed about his dick is it looked like he had a vagina or he was intersexed. She didn't think he had testicles, and she was describing like this horribly scarred, fucked up dick, and she claimed that he had to shoot himself up with medicine to get a hard-on. And then that description of his dick was echoed by like a lot of his other accusers. So everybody was like, what's up with Harvey Weinstein's dick, right? Turns out he got Fournier's gangrene in 99 and had to be helicoptered out of St. Bart's, which is where rich, douchey people go. And
did it say how he got Fournier's?
Didn't say how he got it, but he got this thing, had to be helicoptered out, and almost died, and apparently had erectile dysfunction ever since, and could only get hard by shooting himself up with this medicine. What is it called? It's called Ceravac or
Trimix?
No, it's not Trimix.
Phentolamine? Papaverin?
No.
Prostaglandin?
Caverject.
Yeah.
So he'd have to put that into his penis 5 to 20 minutes before intercourse.
So how do they know this information? Like somebody.
Well, okay, so there's a couple things. So this woman, all the women's described him as that. And in 2017, in an unreleased public statement, he attempted to explain away his anger and sex addiction by recounting that he had been through something physically. And at the time, he claimed, vets tell me I have PTSD, which, I don't know, I just can't imagine a lot of vets being like, Harvey, let me talk about your dick and your PTSD.
Oh, I mean, going through Fournier's can be very traumatic. So why don't I explain what this is?
Yeah,
right?
so without any further ado, babe, Harvey Weinstein's dick. Give us the doctor urological explanation for what's up with Harvey Weinstein's fucked up dick.
Okay. So, you can get infection, obviously, of various body parts, right? When you get an infection of your skin and the tissue right under your skin, it's generally called cellulitis. And that usually goes away with like some antibiotics, and it's not really a big deal. People may have had it before. Usually your skin is warm, red, kind of swollen.
Yeah, it's kind of what I have all on my face right now, right?
No, that's a fungus thing.
I have like a fungus. I have
you
a
have
fungus, everybody.
Yeah.
I got a fungus.
Yeah.
It's all right. I'll get through it.
Yeah, you will. Okay, so so anyway, when you can get a very serious infection of your skin and soft tissues. That's called necrotizing fasciitis. Okay, and this is like way worse than cellulitis, and it's like the colloquial term for it is flesh eating bacteria sort of infection.
So Harvey Weinstein had a flesh-eating bacterial infection of his genitals.
Right. So exactly. So Fournier's gangrene is necrotizing fasciitis of the genitals, and particularly in general of the that starts in the scrotum or around the anus. And usually it happens in men who are overweight or obese, diabetic.
Right, that's what they said. They said
and have other medical.
Right,
medical
they said
problems.
he, at the time he was exactly the kind of people who tend to get this: middle-aged, diabetic, and had a lot of dessert. Based on what he looked like.
And generally is associated with some sort of manipulation in the area. So usually it doesn't like just happen totally randomly, but sometimes it can.
What does that mean, manipulation?
Like, let's say you were shaving your taint area and
Right.
you happen to be overweight and diabetic, right? Or
so you had to break the skin and then like an infection physically had to get in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now sometimes we don't exactly know why, but often. But it's more common after some sort of manipulation, let's say. Or you've had a fall, and you had a cut on the skin, or you had a procedure done in the area.
And it's really serious, right? Because I was telling you the other day, I was reading this while you were asleep on the couch, and I told you, oh, Harvey Weinstein has this. We should have this on the podcast. You just said, he's probably going to die. Because you thought I meant he just got it. So is it that serious?
Is that what I said?
You did. You said, he's going to die.
I must have been like half asleep.
Yeah, you were really asleep.
Yeah,
you were really asleep.
I don't know. But it is extremely, extremely dangerous. So I think that their quoted mortality rates of up to like 80%, right?
80%?
Yeah, so if you contextualize this in something that we're all talking about nowadays, right? Like COVID-19, what's the mortality rate? I mean, it's probably, like
0.00 something percent.
No,
I
mean
think.
it's higher than that, but it's like maybe 1% or something, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
and it's not on your dick.
But Fournier's gangrene is terribly dangerous, and basically what happens is when somebody comes, and I've dealt with this a number of times. I mean, it's not like an extremely rare phenomenon. I mean, I probably have a patient with this, on a like once a year, or probably like at least once a year.
Wow.
And so basically they come in, they're extremely sick, usually end up needing to be in the intensive care unit. And the way it comes off is like if you touched the person's skin, it feels like crunchy, like there's air under it.
So Harvey Weinstein's dick.
Not his dick.
But his balls?
Well, it usually starts in the scrotum taint area. It can spread.
So his taint would be crunchy, sort of.
Like you would feel it, and it would feel like watery and crunchy at the same time.
So sort of like is it kind of like when you get athlete's foot? You have like your feet's like wet.
No, it's not like that at all. It's like the actual tissue is like liquefying.
Oh, Jesus.
Like it looks like liquidy and like
and how
mushy
fast would that
like,
come on? Like if somebody how long would someone have to have untreated Fournier's thing for it to be like that?
I mean, it can spread very rapidly. So you can have somebody come in and like it looks okay, and then in a matter of hours, the entire area is black. Like just their skin is like
turns
black like the color of my t-shirt, like dead. Like totally.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it also, like, if you ever thought you smelled something that smelled bad, you haven't smelled this. And this smells worse than everything on the planet. Like, it smells like sweet and putrid and like dirty feet in like a towel that's
'Cause
like
I'll be honest,
smeared with like
Harvey Weinstein looks like
sugar
he
and,
smells
like,
bad on a good day. You know what I mean? So this must have been really rank.
Yeah, no, it's bad. But it's so what you have to do essentially to cure it is not just give antibiotics. You have to remove all the tissue that's being eaten up by this bacteria. Like
So
it's
they can't reverse a gangrene.
no.
Gangrene seems like some
No.
Civil War shit. Like people got like pirates got gangrene.
Dude, there's a
right?
lot of like Civil War shit. Like that still happens, right? I mean, our ability to conquer our health is so limited, right? And I think we're learning about that with this coronavirus, right? It's just like this tiny little thing that's not technically really alive, the virus is just crushing us, right? It's just crushing our entire world, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and I always think my classic example of like how Civil War type shit, and actually older than that, is basically that I think it's crazy, but a few people every year still get bubonic plague
That's
in the United
wild.
States, right? So it's actually
So
just
you're gonna die from some. I feel like going out from a bubonic plague is at least you got that.
yeah.
It's not like just dying from like colon cancer or some shit where it's like, oh, another one of you guys hacky. You know what I mean? You out from bubonic plague, it's like you're fucking tip of the hat to history.
Right.
You know,
So the
sort of
bubonic
honoring
plague,
those who came before.
so the bubonic plague or Black Death, right, is a disease that killed like vast swaths of the world population.
A lot of swaths.
I
mean, you
think in
gotta
the Middle Ages, right?
A lot of swaths. Yeah, whole swaths.
Yeah, and it's this bacteria, Yersinia pestis. And in the United States, you can find it in prairie dogs. And so, like, a few people a year get bit by, like, a prairie dog, and they get the bubonic plague. Now, actually, we have effective antibiotics for it, so if you get treated in time, you'll be fine. So usually the people
So
who get it
I
don't
was at
die.
risk. So for those of you who watch Small Town Throwdown, my special and hopefully soon to be TV series on the Discovery Channel, if Discovery will pick it up. Come on, Discovery, pick it up.
Pick it up.
For those of you who saw my special and soon to be series on soon to be series, please be serious. Please
Oh,
be serious.
be serious,
Oh,
be
God,
serious,
oh,
be
God,
serious.
oh,
Go,
God.
God,
Anyway,
God.
you saw a bunch of prairie dogs in there in Lubbock, Texas. So I could have
Yeah.
gotten bit, and then I would have had Fournier's ball syndrome.
No, bubonic plague.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So I would have had bubonic plague and
God.
not black scrotum.
Not black scrotum. So anyway, so if you have the black scrotum, or whatever, it doesn't
Black
have to be-
scrot. It's known medically,
Right,
but yes.
right. You have to have all that tissue removed. Okay, so in its extreme form, you can have all the tissue, like of your whole scrotum removed. Now, what happens then is that your testicles will just be hanging down by their cords. So you can have like your two naked testicles
God.
hanging down without a scrotum. So. Like imagine, whatever, in some other body part, like if you had two fingers with no skin over them, you know what I mean?
So
Like that's how your
could
testicles.
that happen to someone's dick? Could it spread from the balls onto the dick meat, and then you have to remove the whole like a hat, like a golf hat, for the club?
So it's not as common. Typically, it does not spread along that plane, but
Because
I
Harvey
guess-
Weinstein's dick, they say looked like a vagina, and she thought he was intersexed.
I mean, what I think in that particular case is that I imagine he has just a hidden penis, to be honest.
Buried penis because he's
buried
overweight.
penis,
Yeah.
right? Because he's overweight, and that is very common. And I think that's probably the case. I don't think that he had his penis removed. It's extremely rare that somebody would have to get their penis cut off.
But of
from
all
this.
the people that should have probably had their dick cut off, Harvey Weinstein's probably that guy, right? Like, just think how many people he wouldn't have been able to hurt. How much better the world would be.
No, but that's not
if they
true,
would have
right?
cut his dick off.
No, but that's not true, right? Because the things that he was doing to people weren't necessarily involved with like penetration, right?
Some of it was.
But some of it wasn't. Like he was
Right.
harassing people just with whatever, with
That's
his like
true.
scary shit.
Apparently, it did not keep women from sleeping with him, though, even and consensually, because in this 3-part series, his assistant says that there were so many women consensually sleeping with him, despite his condition, that they had to keep they had a whole payroll department. A whole section of their payroll was just women organizing, not women, people organizing consensual hookups with him with women, and they would have him.
Why was
go,
that in his payroll department?
Because
They were paying him.
He was paying them to do that for him. Like he was paying his assistants, a whole section of assistants, just to deal with his affairs. So
I thought you
so
meant
like
like a
somebody's-
payroll department, like they were paying all these women.
No,
But you're
no.
saying that there were women in his payroll department that were organizing his
I don't know if they're men or
dates.
women, but they were assistants, and they their job was just to help him carry on his sexual stuff. So they said they had like a whole hotel room that they just basically had on standby that he would just stop by and meet a woman there and have sex with, and then on his way home or whatever. And also they claim that there is an A-list actress out there who has never said anything and received $100,000 necklace from Harvey Weinstein as a gift for presumably for all the sex. So anyway,
don't become too successful.
I don't think there's any
think-
chance of that. I don't know if you're
I
watching
don't-
my career trajectory now, but there seems to be very little chance of that.
Why don't you just stay wholesome? Just
I'll tell you, this Harvey Weinstein dick syndrome, as it's known medically, is so fucking terrifying. Knowing that diabetes causes it makes me really think I'm going to start. I mean, after we taste the cake tonight, I'm going to really start not eating as much sugar because that
No.
shit is scary.
No, I know. I mean, today we were exercising, and Mo was just like, I don't want the Harvey Weinstein thing to happen to me. I don't want the Harvey Weinstein thing to happen to me. And I'm like, wow, I just didn't realize that like Fournier's gangrene could be a motivator for lifestyle change.
Are you kidding me?
I would like to start, kind of a health and wellness company that's just based on showing people photos of gross things.
I think we need to go back to that.
Fear.
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 Remember in
Fear.
Driver's Ed, they show you those Faces of Death videos, so you knew
Or those
what.
this is your brain on drugs, except there's
Yeah.
just stupid things like eggs. Well, you could be like, this is your scrotum on diabetes.
Right.
Right.
How
Stay-
about every time
Yeah.
on every thing of sugar, like on certain countries, they'll put like a picture of like a cancerous lung on a.
Yes.
They should put a picture
Cigarettes.
of Harvey Weinstein's mangled dick and balls on the cup. Like when you buy an ice cream on the top, it's a picture of Harvey Weinstein's scrotum. So they're like, look, if you get diabetes, you might end up having your scrotum look like that.
Well,
I'm gonna take one step further. When you go to Baskin Robbins, they scoop it out. The scoop is molded to look like Harvey Weinstein's scrotum. So your ice cream that you're licking looks like Harvey Weinstein's Fournier's
wine screams.
wine screams when he's getting his balls ripped off scrotum. So then you're thinking, okay, is it worth it?
Except, if you eat those things in moderation, we've both had plenty of ice cream in our lives, and we don't have diabetes.
Well, let's also be honest. We love ice cream so much, we'd eat the shit out of those balls and scrotums.
Oh, I would.
I'd
yes.
just be like, oh, Harvey.
Although,
Oh, God. Oh, God. You have fudge all over your scrotum.
I'm going to ask for Mo's about to go on, not about, but in 2 months, he's going to go on his bachelor party. And
Oh, yeah.
I think this should be one of the activities is you and all your friends eating Harvey Weinstein genital, related, inspired ice cream.
Yeah.
Sundays.
Does Ben & Jerry's have the Harvey Weinstein rotten scrotum flavor yet? Harvey Weinstein scrotum rot?
It's like Jelly Belly made gross jelly beans. They did, it tastes one of them tastes like earwax. Or
I'd rather
something,
eat the earwax
garbage.
Harvey Weinstein hideous ballsack jelly bean than the licorice one because that one fucking sucks.
All right.
All right, so Harvey Weinstein, fuck, marry, kill. Where do you put him?
Babe, but come on. This
What?
is not even, we're not even going there.
Harvey Weinstein, Donald Trump, Bill Cosby. Fuck, marry, kill. Go.
I'm none. This is all terrible.
Donald
No,
Trump,
stop it. We're not
Harvey
doing
Weinstein, Bill Cosby. Fuck,
No.
marry, kill.
this. No. All right, let's go on to another question.
You gotta marry Cosby.
Babe, this is horrendous. I can't be on the record saying that I would marry Cosby.
I would marry Cosby
No.
because he's a doctor on TV. So
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
attracted
out
to
of all of
doctors.
those people, I would have. Well, I can't say.
Don't
what I
say it.
wanna
You have
say.
a career. You have a career to worry
Yeah,
about. Don't worry
exactly.
about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that sums up that, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the email that we went on a very long detour.
Very long
from.
deal. You can
Because-
always email us your questions at thefullreleasepod@gmail.com, thefullreleasepod@gmail.com. And what's the number? Do you remember it?
213-631-3460.
Say it again.
213-631-3460.
Fuck, marry, kill. Mussolini, Hitler, Stalin. Go. Your
Oh,
thoughts.
Stop doing that.
Okay, let's get into the question
right.
then.
So here's one that we just got email. Thank you, Twitterverse, and thank you to this guy. Hello, I am a new subscriber to your entertaining, informative pod. I'm a 66-year-old male, experienced sustained erectile dysfunction issues for the first time.
Mm.
My recent blood work is all normal, and my internist prescribed sildenafil, perhaps as a diagnostic tool. I am having problems getting it covered by my insurance plan's formulary, which is generally very good. Pharmacy said I could pay $300 out of pocket, but this is generic for Christ's sakes. What gives? So essentially, the question is, why is Viagra so expensive?
Did he really write "for Christ's sakes"?
He did. I didn't know that was one word, but that makes sense.
That's just a funny thing to, like. It's funny when people write things to exclaim.
Right. I think I write the word "jeez."
Did he write like?
Jeez.
I mean, spits out in parentheses, spits out water. You know, my favorite thing is like cartoons when something they realize something, they go.
Oh yeah, I know. 'Cause you never do that in real.
No one ever does it.
I know.
You know, another thing you don't ever do in real life. You're never walking down the street and you see someone you're attracted to, and your heart literally starts going like you like going like that. Really rarely happens in real life.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, continue.
But when I saw you for the first time, I felt that way.
Oh, can we just? You know what? Before you answer this question, another thing on Twitter that I saw today that was very hurtful to me. It actually is something you tweeted. Interestingly enough.
Oh, come on.
No, we're gonna go into it. We're gonna go into it. Ashley, when she tweeted asking for questions, she said, "Hey folks, if you want urology answers," and then she puts at the bottom of it, she goes, "I will answer it on my podcast. My Mo Mandel will chime in with dumb comments and sound effects."
Well, that was a joke, and
Well, it hurt like something that wasn't a joke.
I'm sorry.
Also, I haven't done sound effects in a long time, so I felt like
I
that
know,
was
but that's
unfair.
only because you're too lazy, not because you don't love them. And
That's true.
if you could do sound effects for like our entire lives,
I
you would.
love sound effects almost as much as I love a double scoop pecan raspberry chocolate fudge ice cream in the shape of Harvey Weinstein's
God.
mangled taint. You're right. All right, continue. Is it too late to get our wedding cake to look like Harvey Weinstein's?
Oh
Okay.
no, it's not too late actually. So good job.
Now we know what we need,
Yeah.
what we want.
All right. So Viagra. The reason it's so expensive, even though you have a good insurance plan, writer, is that most insurance plans do not cover medications for erectile dysfunction, unfortunately. It's kind of bullshit, but most plans exclude sexual health from their coverage, okay?
Fucking bullshit.
It's bullshit. It's just 100% bullshit.
Shit.
Sexual health is health, okay? It's not cosmetics. This is an inherent function of your body that you are trying to restore. That's it, point blank. And it should be covered, and I wish it was, and this is always a problem. So that's why it's expensive, is because your insurance plan is not covering it at all.
You know, it's interesting because in the U.S. military, I believe they do cover Viagra.
Some programs do, and like, for example, I think the VA covers it, and you know, it's an interesting thing, right? Because most insurance plans that don't cover Viagra will cover a penile implant, right? Which is a surgery.
That's very strange.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, you won't pay for somebody to stay in a tent, but you'll buy them a house. You know what I mean?
But
It's
I
like,
do like the idea that the VA and the military covers Viagra, but regular civilian insurance doesn't. Like in America, you have to earn the right to have a hard-on when you get older.
Right.
You have to
there go.
serve your country if you want your dick to still be able to
Do you
serve
think that's part
you.
of the recruiting package?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do. Why do you think it was known as the greatest generation?
That's
They could all get boners still.
right.
Hmm?
Well, I don't know, because like a lot
Maybe.
of them probably had erectile dysfunction before Viagra came out, which
That's
was in
true.
the 90s.
That's true.
So,
Okay.
you know, they
Maybe it's
were-
just a thought. I don't know if
yeah,
it's true or not.
I don't
I'm just
know.
saying it.
So anyway, there are solutions for you, my friend. Okay. One, I highly encourage you to use the coupon called GoodRx, right? So you can go on the website goodrx.com. It works independently of your insurance, okay? And you can basically have the prescription from your doctor, look up the specific drug, in this case sildenafil, which is the generic form of Viagra, and type in the number of pills and the dosage, right? So Viagra comes, for example, in 25, 50, and 100 milligram tabs. And it usually is phenomenally cheaper this way, okay? So
I mean, does anyone buy any medication that's not off-brand? Like, there's so many. I feel like every medication you want, there's like a knockoff version of it. Right?
Newer things, no.
Oh,
right?
well.
So you're just taking old drugs.
I'm just talking about my SSRIs.
This makes him happy.
Yeah.
So anyway, I know personally that like within our hospital system, generic Viagra is not very expensive, but getting generic Cialis is very expensive. So I'll send people outside of our hospital system and tell them to use the GoodRx coupon, and basically 3 months worth of that medication is $30 or $10
Really?
a month. Yes.
With a regular insurance plan.
Without any insurance,
Holy
because you
shit.
just use GoodRx coupon, right? So, and I would strongly encourage you, if you're experiencing erectile dysfunction, my go-to drug for all of this is generic Cialis, 5 milligrams daily, okay? Because then you don't have to worry about, this is very similar to Viagra. It's the same class of drugs. It's just that Viagra is like shorter acting, so you have to take it on demand, right? So it's like you have to take it.
If you have a larger penis, you have to take more Viagra?
No.
There's nothing like
It
that.
doesn't work that way at all.
Okay.
0%.
Oh, all right. I was just thinking if you and your buddy like had one of you had a larger penis, one had a smaller penis, you could be like, we could pool up. Like maybe, we split the thing. I'll take half a pill. That'll be enough for me. I'm a small fella. You can take 1.5 with your larger penis.
You should try this.
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, you should recommend it.
Something that people should probably try. I would recommend it as a non-doctor. I would recommend it.
I don't recommend that.
As a non-doctor, I
don't
strongly
recommend
recommend
sharing your prescriptions.
Okay.
So anyway, so generic Cialis is known as tadalafil, and it has it's longer acting than Viagra. So Viagra in general lasts around like 8 hours or so. Cialis stays in your system really like up to 36 hours. Okay. So if you take it every day in a low dose, you build up in your body this kind of like steady state of a higher amount. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like you kind of have floating in your body at all times the equivalent of around, let's say, like 15 milligrams if you took it on demand, right? So that does a few things. One, because it's a gentler dosing at any given time, you have fewer side effects, right? So typical side effects of this class of medication are runny nose, headache, acid reflux, I don't know, dizzy, I guess, but not everybody gets those, right? But regardless, less likelihood of those things happening, right? And then the other main thing, which is super awesome, is that you don't have to worry about taking it on demand, right? So it's not like, oh, you and I are getting randy, let me take this pill and then let's wait an hour, right? Because that's not how this shit works.
No, when I want to go, I want to go and be done and watch Netflix.
Right. And
that's what I want to do.
And you're not like going to take your pill and then an hour later still want to do it. You're going to
I'll
be
be sitting there going, for Christ's sakes.
Right.
Kick in already.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's why Harvey Weinstein, he had this shot because that was 5 deployment.
That's totally different.
That's a whole nother.
Get into it.
That's a whole other episode.
Anyway, so you just take it every day, and then it's just in your body all the time. And you're good to go all the time.
It's kind of like having Chris Rock used to have a joke that white women just look at him out the window. This is like a joke he told in like 1988 or something like that. It's amazing that this has not changed at all in this country. But white women would look at him out the window. They dial 9-1, just waiting for him to do something.
Jesus.
Luckily, all the racial stuff in this country has been completely solved since then, and we're all in a good place. Thank God white people have learned how to stop being fucking racist and calling the cops for no reason all the time. Yeah, thank God.
Oh, which will parlay into our next segment.
Right, which we're going to have to do fast because I'm starving and want to eat that cake. But, question, did you say this guy was a writer?
No.
Oh, I thought you said his writer's insurance.
No, he just has insurance.
Okay.
But anyway, so the point being, right, to round this all out,
round it out,
5 milligrams of tadalafil generic or generic Cialis, okay, 30 pills of that with a GoodRx coupon in general is around $10 to $13, okay? And for 90 pills of that, so continuous dosing of your boner pills, good stuff, 90 pills of that is around like $30 or so. So stop overpaying, go to GoodRx. This is like the most amazing and easy fix. Please do that. I don't work for them.
Yeah, and GoodRx, give us some fucking
by them.
money because we just gave you a free ad.
Yeah, but they don't need it because their product is so good.
Yeah, no, but GoodRx, still give us money because I want it.
And make sure to take vitamin D every day, like
Right.
2,000 international units, super important for
And
your
don't
boner
eat too much ice cream
and everything
cake,
else.
or your dick will get wrangled, and you'll probably end up in jail for the rest of your life, like Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Diabetes can cause being in jail forever.
No, it doesn't. I
Okay.
don't endorse
Does not?
that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody knows this whole thing going on the internet, like white women who get involved in other people's business and are racist. They're being called Karens.
I'm not one of them. I'm not a Karen.
No, you're not. You're an Ashley. That's white women who talk loudly about sexual dysfunction in restaurants and
Penises.
embarrass their fiancés named Mo Mandel. But I don't think that's fair. I mean, it's fair, good. These women should be called out. These women should be punished, I guess. But they also should, there's some good Karens out there. So I did a search of the best Karens in the world who are just good Karens. You know what I mean? Karen Carpenter. She was in the Carpenters. And, as far as I know, not a meddling old racist white woman.
We would always listen to. So my parents, I think, danced to a Carpenter song at their wedding.
Yeah.
And that one, We've Only Just Begun.
Okay.
Right. We've Only Just Begun.
Is that the song about her calling the cops on two black kids playing wiffle ball in her yard?
God.
Get off my yard before I call the police. Okay.
And anyway, and then my mom would always get like misty eyed and she'd say during dinner, Karen Carpenter died from complications of anorexia. And then we would all be.
Oh, well, that was funny of your mom to say that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, good story, babe.
Thanks.
That really brought the comedy to a halt.
I know.
Okay, here's another one. See if you can come up with your story about your mom talking about AIDS or something to follow this one with. Karen Shanaz David is an Indo-Canadian actress and singer. So there's that.
So she's cool.
She was in a movie called Scorpion 2: Rise of a Warrior. She was on an American television series called Once Upon a Time. So that's fun. And that's a good Karen. And now here's an African American Karen. Karen Alexander, born in 1946, American singer-songwriter, had some success. Doing things. And let's see, what were some of her big successes? Pop rock singer, years active, 73 to 78. Discography, Isn't It Always Love, 1975.
There you go.
And there you go. That's Karen Alexander.
There you
Not
go.
only not a meddling white woman, an African American woman. So that's exciting.
That's good.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Karen Janet. Oh, this is actually cool. Karen Janet, formerly Karen Angle, is an American professional wrestling valet and personality. She was the senior vice president of Impact Knockouts and is the former wife of professional wrestler and Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. Karen Jarrett. Karen Jarrett.
What is a wrestling valet?
I don't know what that is. Okay, we have time for one more good Karen.
Valet?
Yeah, valet.
Like she puts her towel on their shoulders?
Yeah, I guess so. Man, I'll be honest with you, there aren't that many famous Karens. Because I don't really recognize almost any of these.
Well, there's a Karen that's famous to me, which is one of the nurses I work with, and she's a great Karen.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just say that.
Does she call the cops on black teenagers when they play wiffle ball in their yard? Or anything?
No, she doesn't.
Okay.
She's
Here's
a cool
one.
chick.
Here's another African American Karen. So again, not all Karens are racist white women.
Right.
Some of them are quote unquote, or drum roll.
But
Karen LeBlanc is a Canadian film and television musical theater actress.
Good.
I recognize Karen LeBlanc. She's known for sort of Nurse, Fighter, Boy, Defying Gravity, and Cracked. So there's some of the Karen LeBlanc things.
Nice.
That she's done. So,
Right.
if your name's Karen, you're not necessarily a see you next Tuesday. Maybe you're a Canadian actress, singer, songwriter.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Mo, for that wonderful shout out.
It was more of an expose.
About the non-Karen Karens of the world.
Yeah, some Karens
are not Karens.
Are just women who do stuff in Canada, apparently.
Thank you for speaking so eloquently about that.
Hey, let's eat cake.
All right, let's do it.
Stick around, guys. We're about to eat cake. And again, watch us on YouTube, subscribe, and we'll probably try to do this more often than, what was it, 7 weeks since your last
It was
one?
a very long time.
It was pathetic.
We're going to do it more frequently.
Yeah, we are.
We are.
And look out for Ashley's tweets, guys. If you like scrotums, if you like forgiveness, this is the girl for you. And we're eating cake.
This is going to be the best moment of our wedding planning thus far, I would venture to say.
Yeah, so for everybody watching on YouTube, these are our cake samples. And we're going to try this cake and decide which one we want for our wedding. First of all, is there anything more white privilege than two white people making a YouTube video preparing to eat 6 various pieces of gourmet cake?
Yes. It is.
This is as white privilegey as it gets.
Yes.
And we should know. Okay, so first let's clear our palates with some water. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
My palate is clear.
Let's do the pink one. I want to do the pink one.
Okay, so we got a champagne cake with pink butter. I think buttercream frosting.
I don't know.
Let's give it a shot.
This is a little tough because we picked the samples up yesterday, so this might be a little dry. I like it.
I like it a lot. It's very dry, but again, I think that's because we picked it up yesterday. But
yeah,
I'm gonna go in for another round here. I'm tasting a lot of pink.
I actually think it's really good though.
Yeah. Oh, that's real good.
Right?
Yeah.
I actually really like it.
I like it a lot. And it's definitely the prettiest of the cakes, I would say.
Oh, very pretty. And pink is better than all of
And you love pink, right? That's like your favorite color?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a fan of this. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of like light. It's fruity, you know?
Yeah. And also, there's no frosting on it. I mean, imagine how good it would be for frosting on the outside.
Right. Well, that's just because it's like a slice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like a slice.
Okay. I'm going to cleanse my palate. So I'm going to give it... I'm going to get one more bite in there before I give it an official score.
I don't. Why do we have to score this?
Because we're trying to decide which one. We're not going to order all of them.
I think it was a 7.
I would give it an 8. I'm going to go low 8.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, actually. I think it's a contender.
A lot better than I thought it would be.
Yeah. All right.
All right. What do we on to next, Doctor?
Let's do this other square.
Okay.
This is
is a strawberry cake with a buttercream frosting.
Okay.
Now, first of all, let's just sort of dig into the style of it. It's not...
All right. We need to be more descriptive.
It doesn't look particularly... I mean, the color...
It's like a pinkish gray.
Yeah, it's not... I was thinking strawberry would look more like strawberry-ish. It's more like a gruel.
Right. The champagne gray. The champagne cake has a nice fluorescent-y pink.
Yeah.
Artificial pink. And this is more of a gruel pink.
So, like, if somebody were to tell me this cake's flavor was oatmeal, I would actually believe
pink.
It. Oatmeal pink, yeah.
Yeah, if I was gonna pick a paint, this would be an oatmeal pink color.
Let's try it. I'm
right.
gonna guide it. I have it on my fork, and I'm going to guide it into my mouth. Again,
I like the pink one better.
I do too. Again, very dry. Probably should have eaten these yesterday.
We definitely should have eaten these yesterday.
I feel like such a disservice to the bakers.
I know.
They made us these cakes, and then we just sort of let them sit out there. But
we started eating them yesterday, and it was like, or we should have wrapped them up. We were like, they can sit in that box. They couldn't sit in that box. This was a bad idea.
I mean, I actually like this one. I mean, it again, it doesn't look as good, but you would have it covered in like a frosting, right?
Yeah, of course.
So.
I just don't think it tastes as pink.
Well, it's not pink, so...
Well, I'm really a food culinary great person.
You know, this is the interesting thing. Buttercream, this is...
I really just want to eat frosting. I just want...
The buttercream doesn't really have much of a flavor.
I want, like... Yeah, but it's like, just tastes like fat and sugar.
Yeah, but...
And I think, like...
It needs to be sugarier. I'm tasting buttercream, and I'm tasting mostly just tastes like butter.
You think just butter is also delicious?
Oh, sure.
Maybe we should just have a vat of frosting for our wedding cake.
Okay. So out of the two, I'm going to give this one like a 6. That one.
I'd say it's a 6, yeah.
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 All right. I'm going to cleanse my palate here.
It does taste very buttery, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. It's very buttery.
That's the thing with the buttercream. It's like it
like
really
butter.
just tastes like you're eating a piece of toast. That's pink. Okay. So... Now, while we're off the subject of the cakes, Ashley is claiming I'm not allowed to slam the cake into her face after we get married.
No fucking way.
I'm bummed about it because that's one of the more fun things to do.
Oh, you have this in your face. Mo has, for those of you not watching, Mo has frosting on his beard.
So anyway, how do the viewers think about that? I'm not going to be allowed to smash the cake into her face when we get married.
Yeah, I'm going to have like really nice makeup on and like I've had to have my face covered all in masks all this time, and I don't want cake mashed into my face. Okay?
Yeah, but I feel like as my man,
It's
that's my
not
right
happening.
to do on my wedding day.
No, on the day after our wedding, if you want to smash cake into my face, let's do that. In fact, why don't we do that? Why don't we bring leftover cake to the brunch
Okay.
and then just get in like a cake fight?
Now, can I? Okay, I like that.
I'm cool with that.
While
That's fine.
everyone leaves our wedding, we are just rolling around in cake.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Not at the fucking wedding. Yeah,
No,
let's do
there's
this
this
chocolate
giant hair of yours on my cake.
No, that's not mine. It's yours.
Obviously.
Your hair is huge.
Oh, God. I hope it's not the baker's.
All
No, it's not
right.
the baker's. It's yours. All right, so now let's go to the chocolate cake here.
Yeah, I was actually eyeing that. I think it's time.
So what are we talking about here? What are we looking at? This is a caramel-filled
chocolate something with
chocolate
buttercream.
something with buttercream. Yeah, so the caramel, a lot of it had
This one was not cut.
a lot of
so
the
it's
caramel
moisture.
melted all over the plate that we had.
Mm.
So that again is not.
Oh yeah,
Is it good?
yeah, it's good.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
still frosting in your beard. but
Oh God.
it's really good, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the best one we've
Right.
had so far. Can we just be honest?
See, I don't agree with that.
But I don't know why anyone really.
I'm not a huge chocolate cake person. It's good. It's very good.
I would eat this off Harvey Weinstein's ball sack.
Okay. No, you wouldn't.
I
Let's
would.
just be honest that you wouldn't do that. Okay.
No, I would. Harvey, bring that ball sack here. I'll eat his cake off it.
Yeah, you would eat one that's shaped like Harvey Weinstein's ball sack. We all know
Oh
that.
God, this is good. This
It
is
very
definitely
good.
a
It's
9.
very moist.
This is the best one yet.
I don't agree with that. This is not good. Does not bode well for our.
Which cakes are you putting above this?
I'm not a chocolate cake. This is delicious, but I don't love chocolate cake.
But okay, regardless of what you like, objectively, this is the best cake.
I don't know. I
Really?
don't know if I agree with that.
I'm giving this a 9. Solid 9 too.
All right. Well,
All right. Vamp a little bit while I refill our water glass.
what am I doing?
You know, just kill some time.
it's really
Vamp.
good. Vamp. All right, folks. Well, I don't do well with this. Mo's getting more water for himself because he choked down his cake and he eats things. I don't have a career as a stand-up, okay? There's like a reason I went to med school, and part of it's because of I don't fucking know. All right.
All right, that was good. All right. So now let's dig into. We have a complex thing here. We originally wanted carrot cake, and so we had both the different cake companies, Farina here in Portland and Dream Cakes here in Portland. 2 excellent cakeries. They each gave us a carrot cake, and so now we're trying to decide between the two. Now we tried a little piece of them the day before, we couldn't decide again. I'm gonna dig in here.
I agree. We should go back to this because now that you love this chocolate cake so much, we have to revisit this.
Yeah, and I gotta get the chocolate in my mouth. Oh, that's good. This one's good.
Yeah.
This is a really good cake. It's not just carrot. It's got caramel chunks in it. Little
Right.
crunches of caramel.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I keep forgetting that like people don't want to listen to me just eating cake and I describe what's. So yeah, it's very moist. It's got a very spiced element to it, like any good carrot cake should.
And carrot cake is on the record as your favorite cake.
100%.
Can we agree on that?
Yes.
Now the cake.
Well, no. If we're gonna really go on the record, my favorite cake is ice cream cake, but I don't know if that counts as real cake.
I didn't know you liked the ice cream cake.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Because ice cream is amazing.
But wait, ice cream cake's my favorite cake. Why the fuck are we not just doing that?
I don't know. Can you even get ice cream wedding cakes?
I don't know. We should
Yeah,
find out.
I mean, and what if it starts like melting and stuff?
Our favorite carrot cake is Safeway carrot cake, but for some reason we haven't even
We like
considered that.
like the grocery store carrot cake with the little like carrot in the frosting shape. All right, so that's the other bakery.
Yeah. Now the main difference here is the one bakery has this very bright white wedding cake style buttercream sauce or frosting, but it looks perfect for like a wedding because it's bright white, crisp. You know, it looks like snow.
But we don't like the taste of it.
The
as
taste
much.
isn't as good. The other one has like a more of a gruely oatmeal kind of frosting, but it's cream cheese and it's fucking delicious.
But it's a cream cheese frosting, which is always the most delicious frosting.
Right.
But I feel like what we could do if we asked this place to do our cake, we could have them do the cream cheese frosting on the inside between the layers, and then have them do the pretty frosting on the outside.
That's interesting.
You don't think so?
That's wild.
I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good, like, you know. Nom.
Yeah, the buttercream just doesn't. Yeah, it just doesn't do it for you. You know.
Yeah, it doesn't do it for me either.
It's just not. I'm gonna give my last bite here. Yeah.
In fact, I would say historically one of the reasons why I always loved carrot cake was just because it had cream cheese frosting instead of regular frosting. And I also think that one of the reasons why people love red velvet so much is because it's basically chocolate cake with red food dye and cream cheese frosting.
Well, that's an interesting. Now you're really saying something.
But that's true. Is that not like the general principles of red velvet are that it's basically just chocolate cake with food dye in it, and instead of regular chocolate cake frosting, you use cream cheese.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why everybody fucking loves it, because cream cheese frosting is the best, and people love chocolate cake.
Yeah, cream cheese is really good. All right, so now this is our final one here. We tasted this yesterday a little bit. We weren't really sure. This is a lemon cake.
I think it's a.
What is it? It's a.
I think it's just a regular like yellow cake.
Oh no, it's a funfetti cake. It's like it's got little chunks, little like colorful things. It's funfetti cake, guys.
When you bake sprinkles into the cake.
Bake sprinkles in, and then it's got a lemon thing. Yeah, here we go. Clink.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
It's very lemony. It's got this custard. Sort of
I mean,
lemon.
I do love the lemon.
Yeah,
but I think that the other parts of the cake are not
as good.
Not as good as the other parts of the other cake.
I want some of your frosting.
Oh, come on.
I want some.
Come on. They're so annoying.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
It is strong. It's a strong lemon.
It is. I mean, the cake is also like, I never can tell if I like cakes to be dense or light. You know what I mean? Because I kind of love a dense cake.
I like a dense cake.
Yeah,
I think
this is a much denser cake.
Dense chocolate cake with some ice cream on it. I'm all on that. Yeah.
Now you've seen Mo in his happiest time.
This is me in my happiest time.
Definitely.
So I'm gonna go on. Here's my ranking.
Okay.
Carrot cake with cream. Just on taste. I'm just going taste here.
Yeah.
Carrot cake, cream cheese frosting from Farina. The chocolate cake with the caramel from Dream Cakes, and the third is a toss-up between the Dream Cakes carrot cake and the Dream Cakes lemon cake.
I also, though, yeah, you can have the rest of that. Okay, I'm going to say it's the Farina carrot cake is the top.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably the Dream Cakes one with the lemon filling.
It's two. It's going two.
Yeah, and then, actually, I really like, and I think it was just really dry, but I think if we had had it in its prime, it would have been a lot better, is the pink cake with the pink frosting.
Huh. Okay.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. And then this one that looks like the strawberry cake that looks like pink oatmeal color is definitely the bottom.
So, but you're putting the carrot cake from Dream Cakes way down there, huh?
I mean, I don't know. It's after the pink one and before the chocolate.
I like it a lot, but you don't really like caramel, so.
I don't like the caramel crunch.
Yeah.
I think if we're going to go with carrot cake, I think the other one for some reason was better.
Yeah. Well, that reason is cream cheese, we said before.
Right.
Guys, I don't know if there is more fascinating content out there on the internet than this, but I mean, if there is, I'll be damned if I've been able to find it. This has been a cake-themed segment on the full release. Ashley's, you know what it made me realize doing this? It's hard to do that food shit.
Yeah, to do like food shows.
Yeah, just
like
to be
where
a
you
guy.
talk and eat. Like when I eat, I don't want to talk about the things I'm eating.
I'm not. I like what you did there.
I'm picking up the density and the flavors are intermingling.
Yeah.
And while we're talking like this, Mo is eating all the rest of the cake that's on my plate.
I like what you did there. Good.
Like how you.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week, and we'll let you know which one we chose.
Maybe if we make up our minds by then.
Oh, there's more cake. Pink.
Yeah.
Oh, one more.
No, leave some for me. It's mine.
I eat it. My face shoving face.
Bye, guys. Bye.